Get the cheese to Sickbay. The doctor should look at it as soon as possible.
Welcome back to the shipyard and another Get the Cheese to Sickbay. Today, fighters, attack squadrons, the annoying pests that you can't kill, whatever you want to call them. I've struggled long and hard. I've spent hours, flights, thinking about how to address fighter squadrons. And I faced way too many of them at nationals. They're good. They're very good, as Joseph Vander Yacht, U.S. national champion. Canadian, but U.S. national champion. Because Canada can't get a nationals for attack wing, puts it, they're the best ship in the game for the points. That doesn't make them the best ship in the game, that makes them the best ship for the points. I'm sidetracking here. Fighters. What makes them not be completely broken? What makes them more in line with everything else in the game? Having to do math, making each token worth points. So when you defeat a token, it's worth something. And the early tokens, not that many points. The late tokens, worth more points. They have more defense dice. They're harder to kill. And I understand. Reducing captain skill, that's worth something. Reducing attack dice, that's worth a lot more. But ultimately, fighters are put in this position where if you want something to survive, one, you run a shuttle and that hides points for a long time. But two, you run fighter squadrons because they've got a great attack value. And then they just take shot after shot after shot after shot to kill. A lot has been said about that before. I'm not saying anything new. But what I am saying is you gotta get partial points for partial kills. Because it's different. Fighter squadrons are different. By removing a token from a fighter squadron, you are killing a ship in that squadron. It's not like you're just doing shield or hull damage. So there is something there. I understand you're not removing a piece from the board. But there's got to be something. And maybe it's a matter of you got to get through 2 tokens or 3 tokens if named before you get any points. Maybe there's a break point where we can then assign 8 points or 10 points. And then if you get another token off, you get some more points. I don't have a perfect solution there. But I think that with all these rules about fighters being ships, not being ships, or they're Schrodinger's ships. They are simultaneously a ship and not a ship. They're a freaking nightmare, is what they are. Something needs to be done to fix them. The upgrade cards for squadrons are kind of fall into one of 2 categories. There are some very good cards. The Galler class phaser banks. Those boost the primary weapon of the Hideki fighters. They give range 3, and that's a big boost. I still hate the ruling that max of 6, because that hurts. That includes the range bonus, that includes the named ability bonus, and it's not worth it. But getting range 3 is a boost. Another one of those great cards is Coordinated Attack. It comes with the Fed fighters, but it works on any of them. And it's basically a battle station action. It's a battle station placement for a disable, so it's an action next round to re-enable. But in a lot of ways, it's actually better than a battle station action because it is a placement of a token, and your opponent can't say mutiny you out of taking that action. So those are 2 of the really good ones. Squad Leader's one of the ones that has some Potential play, photo lock-on isn't terrible. It's not great, but it's not terrible. Flanking attack has some intrigue. Aft disruptor wave cannons is interesting. You get rear fire, and that's okay. It's tough, and you'll notice that I haven't actually said any of the Romulan squadron upgrades. I want to like them. If the Romulan fighters were the only fighters in existence, they would be pretty good. They would still be value for points. They would do good work. But in comparison to the Fed fighters and the Hidekis, they don't hold a candle. They're worse stats all the way through. They have less attack. The extra defense just isn't enough, especially in a Type 8 upgraded world, in a weapon ports world. They don't do enough. If the first two, the Fed and Dominion fighters, get errated to be slightly worse than they are, then the Romulans will come into play. Is that really what I want? No. I think that what I want is the Romulan squadron cards to become better. I want their cloak card to be a lot better than it is. I want it to still give you full movement tile. I want them to get sensor echo built in. Built in. Not with cloak having to be a prerequisite. Just sensor echo built in. You get to do it. Maybe for an aux power, but you get to sensor echo. It would be a good thing to have. It's kind of what Hidden Formation tries to do. Hidden Formation doesn't quite go far enough, and it limits it. It limits them to a 1. You can tell that it's not anger, it's not frustration, it's disappointment. Because I love the Scorpion fighters. They were so cool in Nemesis. Picard and Data flying those things around the belly of the scimitar, breaking out of the throne room of Shinzon and getting back to the E. Like, that was such a cool scene. A very not Star Trek scene, but a cool scene nonetheless. They made something happen, and they just don't quite fit in the game. I've run them one time, and it was in the campaign. I want more. I want more out of a ship. I'm not spending a whole episode trying to fix the pack. We can go into more details on that. There was a great would-be nices on Warp Core Breach that went into that. I'll get that episode up here on the channel shortly. But that went into great detail on how to kind of repair the Scorpions. And I think it did a very good job, better than I want to go into right now. So, in combination with this, I think that will give you a starting point if you want to try to fix your own Scorpion fighters. Just my 2 cents. I'm going to call it there. Thank you guys for listening. Truly appreciate it. If you're in the States, have a safe 4th. And until next time, we'll see you around the shipyard. Take care, guys.